Marcy me.
Must be in the air. Oh, can't walk away. I know. Just the
What is the deal, beautiful people? It's your boy Ramon, Lifestyles Defined. Welcome back to another episode of AMA. If you are new here, you're not sure how this works, you leave your question in the comment section down below and we answer it in upcoming videos. Today's question comes from Philippe M, and he says, I am also comparing A7 Mark II versus the a6300 versus the a6500. Coming from a Canon 70D, looking for mainly video recording, but can't give up the dream of a full frame. That's why the A7 Mark II is there. I wanted the Sony Alpha mainly as it can be charged while video recording. That's pretty dope. With a small app, you can bypass the 30-minute limitations. Yes, this is true. What is your recommendation in the situation? So you're looking to get into Sony. Seems like there's no swaying you there. I can understand that. I have this conversation a lot, probably on a daily basis with Jerry, but I do have this conversation a lot about where to go. I would ask you, why are you leaving Canon? What about Canon makes you leave? Even if you feel like there are things out there that newer cameras have that you don't have in your 70D, I feel like you could kind of sort of get that in your Canon world and save yourself the hassle of switching systems. And more so the lenses, right? You have to buy new lenses, but whatever the case is, I get it. Especially if you're talking about in-body stabilizations and all the niceties that the mirrorless world offer. Sure. Now, me personally, in this scenario, I would stay away from the A7II. So I actually have an A7II, and I've done a good portion of the Lifestyles Defined, which is our main tech channel. I've done a good portion of videos there with the A7, and my God, that A7 produces some amazing quality, especially at 1080p 60. The reason I tell you to stay away from the A7 is because of the 4K. You know, I get it. A lot of people say, I don't need 4K, I don't need 4K. And I always argue different. Like in today's world, when it's in so many different cameras, it's the default. There's no reason for you not to be shooting 4K unless you're shooting like 120, 160 frames a second, then fine. But 4K gives you such a freedom when it comes to recomposing and cropping and doing the Ken Burns effect in post. There's so much about it that it gives you that why give that up? Even if you're rendering at 1080. Right, because that means you can take this super large image or this resolution 4 times 1080p, and you can just take a small section of it, render it out to 1080p, and it'll still be sharper than what you would get from a native 1080p camera. Like that's something that you shouldn't ignore. Even the downsampling. So let's say you don't do any aggressive recomposing on your framing and cropping and all that. You just take that footage from your 4K camera and you downsample it and render it at 1080p. You still get a sharper image than a native 1080p camera. So again, 4K, stay away from the A7, even though it's a super dope camera and really nice video quality. I would stay away from the a6300 mainly because of the overheating issues, which I don't know, goes back and forth. People say, oh, it's been solved, and then I go on forums and people are bitching and moaning. So I don't know. Stay away from it. The a6500 is your only choice left here. From what I've read, it's a very stable camera. I don't know. Some people say they do have the overheating warning, but it never actually overheats. So there's conversation behind that. Is the camera actually overheating? And Sony adjusted the firmware to where it can do so longer and not shut down. So in hindsight or in reality, you go, yeah, well, no, it just warns me it never actually overheats. Is that causing damage to the sensor? No one knows. We're going to find out in about another year or so. But generally speaking, I still hear good solid things from the a6500. I would also like to ask a question to you. Why full frame? All right, and I know people's got their reasons. Full frame, you're shooting in low light or whatever the case is, or you just get a better image, you get a better depth of field, whatever. But you shouldn't discount the dopeness that is Panasonic. Panasonic, oh my God, they offer some beastly cameras. You got the G7, which is what I'm shooting this on. You got the G85, which is pretty much this with in-body stabilization. You got the GH4, the GH5. Those are the big boy cameras. Like, don't rule them out. You know, even I get it. Wait, put on a scale your necessity of full frame versus the 4K quality and the versatility that you can get from the Panasonic, and look at that too. So hopefully I gave you some good direction. According to your question, the a6500 is definitely the winner. Unless you know, if you're gun ho for that full frame life, then you know you need to get that A7R2, and you know what that'll cost. And you know you can't put bullshit glass in front of that A7R2, so you know how much that G Master and that Zeiss will cost. So there's that. Hopefully you enjoyed the answer. Leave your comment, because I want to know what you go with, ultimately what you decide in the comment section below. And for the rest of the LD Familia out there, you guys hop in the comment section and throw out some recommendations like you often do. Help my man Philippe out make a good decision. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There are links to all of our other channels down below, especially our gaming channel and our tech channel. It's currently gaming season, so there's a lot going on in the Forza 7, Gran Turismo, the Battlefront world. Check that channel out. My name is Ramon. I'm out of here. Peace. Well, I guess, and the reason we started Lifestyles Defined is because if we weren't on camera arguing about these things, the technologies, the phones, the iPhones, the Androids, the cameras, the games, we'd be on the phone arguing about it. We'd be in each other's houses arguing about it. So why not just put it in front of a camera for everyone to enjoy it the way we do? That's what Lifestyles Defined is all about. We just love this shit.